So I think that we have to make people aware of this subject and then circumvent them by taking a personal approach, much like the one you're doing.
Yeah, and you would be surprised, Jason. There's something called First Friday here in San Antonio, every first Friday of the month, and it's kind of like an art scene that shows up there, art galleries, and you got your trendsters, you got your older folks. It's really a mixed crowd of people, and we're always out there, and we get a lot of the responses like, "Oh yeah, we already know about that," and they keep walking. But we're like, well, there's more to it than that. Like everything you just mentioned, all the way up to the Obama presidency, and that's something we're also trying to break ground on. We've actually a lot of the events we won't just hand out 9/11 info before the election. We're handing out flyers that compared McCain and Obama. We've handed out flyers on the Federal Reserve. This past First Friday, we were out there handing out info about Codex Alimentarius and GMO food. So really, I mean, we have to hit all the fronts in the info war.
Yeah, you're running the gamut. And that's an important thing to do. America, freedom to fascism is one of the most effective tools out there. And it still has not been watched by the majority of Americans. So that's a great video to hand out.
Yeah, we found out hundreds of copies of Washington You're Fired, another great flick as well.
Yeah, we carry that over at Infowars.com, and Washington You're Fired is a great flick. It really, when we had William Lewis on there, he said, we really took the conspiracy out and just went with all these things that were just publicly in your face. And some of the people are telling me, we think that Obama's executive orders are going to be to exonerate the Bush administration. Well, I think the Bush administration exonerated themselves with the Military Commissions Act when they said that nobody in the administration could be prosecuted on any war crimes from September 11, 2001 on. So I don't think that Obama even needs to do that. I think that what we're going to see is a massive re-regulation of the economy. Whether that be an Amero or some other type of system. I think we're going to see banks go under. And, Tarpley has really talked about the New Deal. And in my town, the little high school town I grew up in, you could see the Works Progress Administration signs. And people who don't know what the Works Progress Administration, it's what Roosevelt set up to give state jobs and federal jobs to people that had nothing. And they built some infrastructure. And, I mean, that infrastructure lasted a long time. I mean, my sidewalks still have that. So I think that you're going to see those type of programs brought back where people will be, working on roads and railways because there'll be nothing else.
Building toll roads like we
toll
do
roads.
Here in Texas.
It'll probably be, you're right, it'll probably be more infrastructure for the Securities and Prosperities Partnership, which, as Vicente Fox said, isn't going as fast as he would like.
Yeah, and that's actually another front on the info war we need to get out on the streets. And a lot of people see it here in Texas, but we want to show them how they can take action, and we can have local victories in this fight.
What's the website?
Excuse me?
You with us, Matthew? What's the website people can go to?
Our meetup is on, the URL is sanantoniotruth.org, and that links to our meetup. Anyone in Austin can go to meetup.com/WeAreChange as well. Our YouTube page, youtube.com/WeAreChangeSA, and I'd ask everyone to subscribe to the videos. We're going to have a montage video of us at the B-Boy Jam in Houston with our 9/11 Truth booth, and we're working together with HoustonTruth.org, Eddie, Dickey, Chase, and Ben from Houston, and we'll have that video on the YouTube page tonight, hopefully.
Sounds good to me. And remember, no matter where you are, whether you're in a different country, you're in a different state, you can start your own chapter of We Are Change, or you can join a chapter of WeAreChange.org. We got Matthew Medina. We'll be back. We're going to take your phone calls after this. It's the Alex Jones Show.
Ira Hayes. Call him drunken Ira Hayes. He will answer anymore.
All right, it's the Alex Jones Show. I don't know any whiskey-drinking Indians, but then again, I don't know many Indians at all because we wiped most of them out. And that's why we had Russell Means on last week from the Lakota tribe. Pretty interesting how they're trying to set up their own bank where they only accept silver and gold as currency. That's genius to me. I mean, with this economy, hard assets seem to be the only thing that we're going to have. And like I said, I don't know how they're going to restructure it. I do know that that's going to retain value and that fiat currency is eventually going to fall. And, Matthew Medina of We Are Change San Antonio, that's one of the big issues, and that's why you did the End the Fed rally, correct?
That's correct.
I mean, again, there's so many ways to get involved, and this is such a multifaceted issue. I find, again, you're going to a B-boy concert, so you go there with 5 or 10 members of WeAreChange. I think that those people need to relate to, people that they think that they can, talk to. Someone they start a conversation up with on something totally and completely unrelated, and then work your way into 9/11 truth, or work your way into the truth about the Federal Reserve, or work your way into the truth about the bailout.
Well, which is easy to do because it actually does affect our everyday life.
Absolutely. Let's take some calls. Hopefully we still have Rudger in Idaho. Rudger, what's on your mind?
Hello.
How are you, sir?
Fine. Is this Albert Schweitzer, I presume? No, it's Jason. That's right. I was surprised my telephone number is not blocked. I'm blocked from making posts on Infowars.com. I, myself, voted for Jesus Christ. I wrote that in. I think I'm going to go where white men fear to tread here. When you can have Michael Collins Piper on to discuss the JFK assassination, author of the book Final Judgment.
Uh-huh.
When?
Oh, when are we going to have? I don't know. I don't book the guests, but you seem pretty adversarial. Let's cut him off. I mean, first of all, he started out with the hold on. You started out with the comment that we don't let you post on Infowars.
That's correct.
And that's just
correct.
not. Hold on. The only reason that you wouldn't be able to post for Infowars is if you were putting racist comments continuously and they had to block your IP, or if you were threatening people with violence and they had to block your IP. It's an open forum. No one screens your phone call here. They ask you what your name is and where you're from. I know John Harmon. I know how it works here. I know Jaron. They don't go, okay, what do you want to talk about? Oh, you can't talk about that. You talk about anything you want on here. I've met Michael Collins Piper on several occasions. I've spoken at events with him. We actually had a pretty good conversation after I previewed. This was long before Fabled Enemies was even anything other than an idea of mine. But about probably 8 to 12 months before I put it out, I'd basically done a lecture on the international spy ring, the Pakistanis, the Israeli connection to 9/11, and we had a long talk after that. And he apologized for the way that American Free Press had slandered myself and others in the 9/11 truth movement as some kind of operatives. That's why it gets so ridiculous, man. I have to sit here and defend myself from, Jason Bermas is Israeli Mossad. Jason Bermas is a shape-shifting lizard person. Jason Bermas is under Vatican control. And that really just diverts attention away from real solutions, and, solutions like you're trying to put forth, Matthew. Go ahead.
Yeah, and we see a lot of this going on in the movement. People provocateering, and then they turn their behavior and they act innocent. Mm-hmm. Like we saw Robert Wanick dealing with a situation that he made a video about, and it's when people show their fruits and reveal themselves to be in this kind of behavior. We just need to stay away from that and keep on the positive. And
did you notice how this guy said "white man"? White man.
Yeah.
Listen, brother. We're all human beings. I hate to tell you, if somebody's got a little extra tone on their skin, it doesn't mean he's not a human being. White men? No, we're human beings. And I'm sick. It sucks because racist sites like, Stormfront and all that sometimes link to Infowars and PrisonPlanet.com, and they try to associate themselves with us. Look, we're not a racist organization, man. All right? I'm sorry. I don't hate the Jews. I don't hate the blacks. I'm not going to call people ragheads. I mean, it's just all about dehumanization. It's ridiculous, man. That call pissed me off. It really did. And then he tries to incorporate himself with Jesus Christ, like Jesus is bringing forth the racist word, and we're censoring him. When are you going to have this guy? Come on, give me a break, man. If you really think that one race or religion rules the world, you're absolutely and completely lost. Matthew, finish it up for us in the next 30 seconds.
Okay, just go to YouTube, check out our YouTube account, WeAreChange SA, and hopefully it'll inspire you, show your brothers, sisters, nephews, nieces. It's the youth taking action, and we could do it in a cool, hip, fun way, and it's fantastic, spreading truth.
All right, thank you so much for coming on. It's Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.tv.